it's Brittany. So, today's gonna be a different kind of video today. Um, and of course, I'll still be doing movie reviews, of course, but today is going to be different. And I have listed um, 5 what the F movies. And here are some that I've listed now. For those who may have seen these movies or not, but here are, I would say, the top 5 what the F movies. And once you do watch them, you'll understand why, but for those who have, you know why. One, Midsommer. And I have seen Midsommer. It was just once. I believe it was last year, but okay, so before I say anything about it, let me just read you the description of the plot here. A couple travel to Sweden to visit their friend's rural, if that's how I say it, hometown for its fabled Midsummer Festival. But what begins as how do you say it? Idyllic retreat quickly develops into an increasingly violent and bizarre competition at the hands of a pagan cult. Now, so yeah, because I remember when I had seen this once, I was just curious to see what it was about. Now, knowing what it's about, but I was just curious, like, okay, how does this play out and everything? And upon watching it, to me, it was definitely like, what the F kind of movie, especially because with the story, because it seems like everything was going fine, going well at first, but then as it says, that it quickly develops into bizarre things that go on, and it does. And as these things start to happen, it's just like weird, very off, and it's just like, it definitely, like, I feel like there's just like the rest of the movie, and there was just some scenes where you're watching it and it's like, what the F is going on? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? And it was definitely like that for me. And for those who even like the movie, that's great if you do. And I'm glad that you like it and you enjoy it. Although after watching it the first time, I did not like how it went, because even though there was a scene where the boyfriend, where he was tempted by these other women he was surrounded with, I felt like he could have just said no, and he could have just defended himself, and he could just stood up for himself and could remain faithful to his girlfriend, but that did not end up happening. And I don't want to say what happens, because it's like, it's just sick and twisted and bizarre. And even the way it ended, I was just like, because it ended in such a way that I was not expecting, and I was just like, wait, that's it? It's gonna end right there? And so, yeah, I did not like that. So after watching it the first time, I thought, I felt uncomfortable seeing what I was seeing, especially with some scenes that was like, what? What? So I felt like some of it was confusing, and I wasn't like understanding to why they were doing this. I mean, yes, I know they were a pagan cult, but the only thing is I just felt like, okay, this couple only traveled to visit their I I can't speak now. But I feel like at some point the friend could have warned them and been like, okay, thank you for staying, but it's time for you to go because things don't look as they seem around here. So I feel like at some point the friend could have warned them so they could have leave. Um, and that way those things would not have happened. But um, yeah, so for those who have seen it, you know what I mean. And for those who haven't seen it, if you want to check it out yourself, you could if you want, but I don't know how you're gonna feel about it. I don't know if it's gonna be one of those movies that you might like, or or a movie that you don't, because after watching this, I was like, okay, I don't like this. So yeah, to me it was just one of those movies where I felt like, what the f was was going on, and like, and so but yeah, it's just felt like, okay, you know what, this I don't like this movie, knowing what I saw and knowing what it's about. And so yeah, it's just not, I would say that particular movie is just not my kind of movie. So yeah. um okay, and two, the other movie of what the F movie here is Children of the Corn, because when I had seen this movie, it was years ago, and I remember, again, I was feeling confused and just like, what is going on? Why are these children involved of this, like, uh, what looks like a satanic cult? Like, why? And I'm thinking, they're kids. Like, they should not be thinking about this or having to be involved in anything that's so dark and evil, and yet these kids were, especially one of them. One of them, I think that was the leader, and his name was, what was it, Isaac? I'm really trying to think. Was it? Um, yeah, for those who may not know or haven't seen the movie, this is what it's about. Um, as physician Bert Stanton and his girlfriend Vicky drive across the Midwest to his new job, their trip comes to a sudden halt when they encounter the body of a murdered boy in the road. In trying to contact the authorities, Bert and Vicky wander into a small town populated only by children. Followers of sinister young preacher Isaac Coronor. So yeah, I was right. His name is Isaac. Soon the couple is fleeing the youthful fanatics who want to sacrifice them to their demonic deity, or something like that. So yeah, so I only saw this movie once, and cause when I can't speak. Let me try to get my words together. Okay, cause years ago when I had first watched this movie, I only watched it because even though when I had read the description of the movie, I thought, okay, yeah, this sounds scary. It sounds very unsettling, but I'm going to watch it because I want to see how this story plays out. And that's the main thing when it comes to movies. Like even if I'm reading a description of the movie, and even if it sounds like, oh man, like, okay, that doesn't sound good, that sounds terrible. But even when other people say, oh yeah, I don't like this movie, this was awful, this was bad, terrible, even though they might say what they say about the movie because that's how they feel about it, and that's okay. But just because if a movie does get bad reviews doesn't mean, oh yeah, therefore I'm not gonna watch it, because I'll still watch it. Like, no matter how good the reviews are or how bad the reviews are, and I'll still watch it. So now I don't think I've heard anyone talking about the movie, whether they liked it or not. So this was quite new. So as I'm watching it, I thought, okay, this is really bad. You know what's going on, and like I said, so yeah, their leader, Isaac, he wants to sacrifice the couple and their demonic ritual, and it's like, oh my gosh. And speaking of cults, like, first there's Midsommer and Children of the Corn, and oh my gosh. Now, I never seen the sequels though. I haven't seen 2, 3. How many are there? Because now I don't know if I have to watch the first one again to remember what happened in order to watch the sequels. I mean, I really don't know. But yeah, it's been years since I've seen the first. And ugh, yeah, I remember even watching it. I remember with what was going on and everything. I just remember thinking, like, I'm just like confused. Like, why is this happening? Why are these children involved in this demonic cult? Like, this is very unnerving, very unsettling, and it's just so wrong. So morally wrong, and you know so yeah, to me this was definitely like, what the F movie, because it's like I'm not liking what I'm seeing, and it's just like, these are children who are doing this or involved in this, especially with this leader, and he's like, what, maybe, I'm not sure how old the character is in the movie as the leader of this demonic cult. I don't know if he's like, what, 11, 12, maybe 13, I don't know. But still, he's still, he's a kid. And to be involved in something like this is so very wrong. It's just dark. It's just, it's just not good. So yeah, I did not like that. Not at all. But yes, for those who do want to watch it, I mean, you could watch it at your own risk and see whether if this might be a movie you might like or not. Okay, and then one of the movies that's like, what the F movies is Sweeney Todd. Well, the musical one with Johnny Depp, and I'm pretty sure you know why. Okay. Whoops. Okay, wait a minute. I was typing too fast. So for those who may not have seen the movie, okay, so it is a musical. It's a musical horror movie. It came out in 2007. So is called Sweeny Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. So it is free on Pluto TV. So for those who may not know what it's about, here's what it's about. Evil Judge Turpin lusts for the beautiful wife of a London barber and transports him to Australia for a crime he did not commit. Returning after 15 years and calling himself Sweeny Todd, the now madman vows revenge, applying his razor to unlucky customers and shuttling the bodies down to Mrs. Levitt's, who uses them in her meat pie shop. Though many fall to his blade, he will not be satisfied until he slits Turpin's throat. Okay, so oh, okay. So as you know now what it's about. Yeah, this is definitely like one of those what the F movies, because first of all, of the plot that I just read to you. And yes, I have seen it because I remember, I think when I first watched it, oh, okay, that's right. So when I had first watched it, I was still in high school. I was a senior, and I remember at that time, cause my friend Stephen, cause he has a lot of movies on DVD, and so, and of course, you know, I do too, but I didn't know what movies he had, and so I remember asking him if I could like borrow a movie, and he was like, yeah, sure. What movie do you want to watch? So I told him that I would want to watch a horror movie, and I said, well, with not too much blood. And so he handed me Sweeny Todd, but I think to me Sweeny Todd has maybe a little bit more blood, just a little bit. But yeah, I remember as I was borrowing it from him, and I watched it at home. I was you know, so when this happened, now of course I feel so bad for Johnny Depp's character, that Alan Rickman's character lusts for his wife, and so he pretty much kidnaps her, and he you know, I will not say that word, but yes, that's what he did, and so yeah, he that's what happened. And so when he returns back to London, he no longer calls himself what was it, I think his name was Jonathan Barker, I believe, but he no longer used his real name. He went by the name Sweeny Todd. Now, for that reason, I don't know why. It could be maybe he wanted to sound different. But yeah, there could be another reason to that. I just don't know why. But why the name Sweeny? I don't know. But then again, you know, I mean, it is a good name. But Sweeny Todd, yeah, it makes it sound like something like, okay, he's up to no good. And of course he looks, I feel like everything that he went through, I feel like when he thought he lost his wife when she did not die, but thinking that he did lost her, and that he did not have his daughter, and that in fact it was Judge Turpin who I think adopted her, but then I think he wanted to like marry her, I think. But and you know, that's just like, oh my gosh, what? But the thing is, him teaming up with Mrs. Lovett and him slitting the throats of the unlucky customers, and they are sent down to what, the basement, or where the ovens at, where her shop's at, and they go through her I don't want to say it, meat grinder, and then those who are unlucky turn into meat pies. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, it's just that anything that has to do with that at all is very unsettling. It makes me feel sick to my stomach, to my throat, because anything that has to do with like I said, that, especially with the C word, cannibals, no thank you. My stomach turns when it comes to things like that. So this, I feel so unsettled, and I remember just feeling shocked, and just, I remember just thinking like, what the F? Why is this happening? Like, so yeah, now for those who may like the movie, that's fine. You know, I'm glad if you do like the movie, but I don't, for many reasons, including that, and ooh, yeah, it makes me feel sick in my throat just thinking about it. So, no. So I'm not gonna say anymore. But yeah, I won't spoil it for you. So if you want to check it out, you could feel free to watch if if uh, if you want to watch it. Another what the F movie here is Terrifier. And yes, I know I did a movie review on it. But this is also one of those movies because, you know, it's about this killer, sadistic clown, and kills people in the most gruesome, very graphic, brutal ways, and in ways which I will not describe in detail because I can't I can't bear to even say the details of it. So okay, this is all it says here of the description of the movie. All it says is, oh damn, no, I don't want to see that. Oh, okay, just now, because you know how when you okay, because you know how, I don't know if you get this, or you probably do, but when you go to Google and you look up on a movie and then it shows a video, like the trailer, but then it shows like a little bit of the trailer, and you might see something of what's happening in the trailer, but then it keeps repeating over and over. Well, that was happening, and I saw something that happened just now, and I'm like, oh no, I did not have to see that. All it says is, a crazy clown stalks and tries to kill 3 women in a wrenched old apartment building on Halloween night. Now that's all it says of the plot of the movie. But once you get to watch it, and the way how this killer clown stalks these women and kills them, like I said, is so graphic, so gruesome, and so brutal. And oh, it's just, horrible. And definitely, like, I feel like it's just one of those things where it's what the F, and where you just like can't believe what's going on. And I'm sorry if this video is going on a little long. I'm sorry about that. I'm not sure why. I don't know why, but I'm sorry about that. So yeah, but if you want to, for those who haven't seen it, and if you really like it, for those who really like graphic, really gruesome, bloody, really bloody, brutal movies, Terrifier is one of them, although it's not as graphic or gruesome or brutal as the second. But if you want to watch part one and see how it is, you can watch it. But if you want to watch part two, which has a lot more of it than the first, then that's something you may like. Or even if not, you know, that's up to you and whether this might be the kind of movie you might like. Okay, so on to the last one. Yeah, on to the last one of What the F Movies, and that is The Little Death. Now, for those who maybe have heard of it, haven't heard of it, or have seen it, or haven't seen it, now for those who have seen it, you would know what I'm talking about because of the plot and what goes on. And it's just like, I feel like there's just certain moments within the story where it's like, what the F this? What the F that? Like, what? Okay, so let me just look it up for you real quick. Okay, so here's the description for you. Now, it came out in 1996 and it is a thriller crime movie. And it doesn't say a whole lot, but this is what it's about. Murder is part of a young woman's plot to control her rich husband's estate, but love with her stepson isn't. Now, I had watched this for the first time not too long ago. It was back in January. And so when I had watched this, it was free on Tubi. I don't know if it's still on Tubi or if it could be somewhere else, like on other streaming services to watch. I don't know. But I remember when I had looked it up and read that, I thought, are you kidding me? Like, okay. And I thought, you know what? I'm still gonna watch it, see for myself of how this turns out, because I was getting a different picture of my mind. You know, because you know how sometimes when you read a description of the movie, you're thinking, okay, this is how it might go, but then when you watch it, it might turn out either something a little similar, or it might turn out completely different than what you were imagining of how it was. And it's like, oh, actually I was wrong, it didn't really happen this way, this is how it actually happened. So with this one, now, as I was watching the beginning of it, and everything was going fine, you know, at least from what I can see. But then, I'm not sure when this happens. I think either within, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, I'm not sure exactly, but at some point, something happens where the character gets killed off. Because, say like this, so when this character gets killed off, and which J.T. Walls plays the rich husband, and since he gets killed off, which I think happened too soon, within the movie, about 15-20 minutes around there, I think. So after that, I feel like after his character's death in the movie, it seemed like just went things have gotten more strange, more weird, and like, what the F is going on here? And I did not like what I was seeing, especially um, when his wife is now having feelings for his son, her stepson, and are you kidding me? I mean, this just is sick. It's morally wrong. You know, you don't do something like that. Like, but yeah, so somehow they both end up in this weird, sick relationship with each other, but then one thing happens after another, which I won't say. I don't want to give anything away, other than that, because that's what you'll see. But there's just some other things I won't give away. But once you do watch the movie, now for those who want to watch it, I don't know where it's free to watch, but if you ever want to watch it and see for yourself on how the movie plays out of the story and everything, feel free to do so, because I feel like things could have gone more better. And I do have this idea of how this movie could have turned out maybe much better, maybe a little bit more intense and thrilling. But it did not turn out that way. It just seemed like things have gotten weird and just like messed up and just like, what the F? Like, why is this going on? So, so yes, I won't give anything else away, because I feel like for those who want to watch it, you have to see it for yourself. And with those certain things that you will come to find out later, then it's gonna be like, okay, this is really messed up. This is like, what? Because I felt that, because there's something that was revealed that I did not even knew about. And so when I did knew about this twist in there, that made me upset. And I was just like, and then I just remember thinking like, what the hell is wrong with these characters? You know, with her and then with this guy here. Like, so yeah, I just felt like, okay, things are just not going well. So I felt like this could have been better. But yeah, this is one of those movies and the story and certain things that go on where it's like, what the F? So yeah, that's all I have to say. So yes, if you want to check out any of these movies, you can watch it if you want and see how it is and see whether you may like these movies or not. Now, I was with The Little Death. I do think if I turned out better in a way of how I think it would, then yes, I do think I would like this a lot more. But because it turned out the way it did, I feel like I only liked the beginning of it, but then after that, it's just gotten, like I said, weird, just very off, and it just felt like, you know, something was missing, and it was. And it just felt like, okay, this is just wrong, this is just sick and messed up. So yeah, therefore I didn't like the rest of the story of how it was playing out in such a way where I feel like, even though some things made sense to what happened, but I felt like there's just some things that did not quite make sense. So yeah, so I wish I could have liked it if it had turned out differently. But yeah, that's all I have to say about it. So okay, so anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And so yeah, so yeah, next time I will do a movie review. So for more movie content, reactions, and dreams, subscribe and click on the bell so you'll be notified when I upload. And I'm sorry this video went on for kind of long. I that wasn't my intention really. It just turned out that way. But anyway, subscribe, um, and yeah, I hope that you enjoy these the movie content and reactions and dreams. So that's all for today, and I'll see you at the movies.